Alright, welcome to my Sorare journey. What a few weeks it's been on Sorare. Liverpool are launched, Liga 2's launched. The big decision has been made. I am doubling down on Sorare. I am going hard. I am moving up from Limited. I'm moving up to Rare. No, I'm not. I'm skipping around going straight to Rare Pro. Listen to the strategy I've got in plan for it. Listen to my live auctions, debating internally with myself what I should do. If you have no idea what Sorare is, check out the link in the description. Sign up, watch this video, get involved if you want to, all the rest of it. Beyond that, I give two massive shout outs to people in the community that have just, gone above and beyond really. And then we also have how I've transitioned my team, what it looked like in summer, a bit of learning, a couple of mistakes, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find it useful. If you do, give it a like, and yeah, all the best to you. Like I said at the beginning, we are targeting Rare Pro. So why have I targeted this? Essentially, Rare Pro is a league people don't really complain about. They think it's kind of fair. You can win star rares, a massive, massive upside. And what I'm trying to do here is compete on a budget. Obviously in limiteds, I'm a limited whale. I have the best cards. So now it's my chance to step up, see whether I can only be good with the best cards or whether I can, take that step up and play on a lower budget, find these bargains and then get higher upside. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not transitioning my whole gallery there. I'm keeping most of my limited cards. The only person I can think of that I've sold off is Mbappe really. And then when you're at kind of my level in U23, I've won the league without Mbappe. That extra £2,000, he's not adding £2,000 worth of value to my team because I'll have to drop someone like Pedro. I'll have to drop someone like Enzo. I already have Szymanski as a backup option. There's just no need for someone that expensive. It was a mistake of mine. Maybe I got carried away. Essentially, it was a learning process, right? I thought Mbappe would be the be-all, end-all, and he hasn't. So now we're upgrading. We've also deposited again 1.4 ETH. I took out 2 ETH not too long ago because of my confidence or so. I was shook. I didn't like the League 2 announcement. I didn't like some other things. It's easy to get bogged down in, the here and now. At the time, it was absolutely the right choice. I still stick by it. The long-term implications of a second division club are quite, it's a risk, right? It's definitely a risk. And then also, it really kind of, it screws people that have the best cards. They go from having the best cards to just slotting in some other people which you never thought would come on the platform, at least in my opinion. So what's my strategy then? It's quite simple. It's to take advantage of the situation. So I thought rather than complaining more about the situation, if you think these cards have come in at a fair price, or a good value for money, or essentially people have been mugged off that did have the best cards, now there's other cards coming into play, let's go get them because they're not going to be as expensive as the other cards that everyone's got their eyes on. So this is the team that I plan on building out or have considered building out. There's going to be changes and variations or whatever, but essentially La Liga 2. Everyone's talking about La Liga 2 at the moment. I couldn't actually believe it. It was a secret I was almost keeping to myself in some regards, and everyone seems to post about it on Twitter. Why is that? Well, look, if you look over the World Cup, which is this yellow gap here in the Sorare calendar, you'll see it's one of the only leagues that has gameplay, and it has probably the most games. So a couple other leagues in there. Croatia got 2 games, Switzerland got 2 games, Serie B have 4 or 5. And then up here, the Chinese Super League, which isn't officially licensed, only a couple of players, so it wouldn't matter too much, have 5 games. But essentially, La Liga 2 comes in. Not only that, I think they have 42 games a season. They have a lot of games a season, essentially, which means, there's going to be quiet midweek, so where they're going to be playing with their best teams. You can see here, I'm not sure what game week that's going to be, but it looks like there's only 2 teams competing. That's going to give you the best opportunity to win cards. As well as that, they've just minted them. So I get the chance to get brand new cards, build up XP by the end of the year and into next year. They're going to have they're going to be the most powerful cards of that card in the division. There's 2 minutes left. I usually don't, I usually go in exactly knowing how much I want to bid if I get carried away, which is not very likely, to be honest. I haven't really got carried away too frequently in auctions, but I'd normally know. I do have a value, of course. I've got 1,600 here as the max potential. But do I want to be paying that for a super rare forward? He's in the top team, good age, coming into his prime, if not at his prime. Albania, that'll probably give me some international utility now and again. Nothing too frequent. Let's see who's in the bidding. That's always interesting to me. LTP, that's really interesting. I beat out him last night for my first ever player, so we're clearly after the same person. We're clearly after the same type of people. Shout out to Paul from Play Sharper. So let's go back and see how long we've got to go. Now, in these auctions, I do not like to waste time. The timer goes up, I think, at 1 minute. We're in for 900. I'm buzzing to get him for that. I find it's very unlikely. But essentially, we're in it. There he is. Yeah, here, when the timer goes back up, there's no point waiting around for it go 1 second, annoy the other person, and come back up and bid again. Essentially, it's like you're just letting more people come into the auction that might come on late or, lost connection to their phone or something like that. Don't mess about, just put your bids in and then leave. So here we're up to 1,056. Obviously, I thought max price would be 1.6. So will his rare go 500? Probably go 600. 1.2 I'd be happy taking down at. Outbid again is that. Right, 1.098. So now we got to start thinking, how bad do we want this card? And alternatively, if someone's going to pay, more than happy for them to overpay for it. 1.2 would be a good price. Am I going to up it? No, I'll keep it 1.4. So he could take the 1.2 bid. It's now the highest with 55 seconds to go. And he's jumped in 1.1. Okay. So I think I can do one more here quite comfortably. If he's 750 in rare, 850 in rare, doubling that should be fine. Just see if anyone else is going to pop in quickly. This isn't me wasting time, this is me definitely thinking. Who else can I get? I was looking at Mario Icardi for about 600. Could probably get a super for 1.2, but there's none on auction, so you need someone to pop up. I beat this guy last night for an auction. Not sure how that plays into it at all. He did do me with a late bid, to be honest. I'd say this is probably my last bid. But then I'd be very happy to get him at this price. This is a great price for a forward of his level. Yeah, 1.285. So the next bid, what would that be? 1.337. And what's his rare going for at the moment? 4.47. Because I'd be more than happy. It might make more sense for me to get the rare. If I can get the rare for 6.50. Then you're only playing double for the super. I could give it one more. 1.337. I have a max price here of 1.5. So that's 1.6. And that is essentially 725 times 2, which I think you could probably get the super at. I could give it one more maybe. I'd be happy to get it for that. Right, that would... this will make a decision. 100%, the last bid for him there. If we don't get him here, perfect. Okay, so we've made the guy pay more and we're not going to get him. Let's see if anyone else comes in for him. But essentially now I can go out and get the rare for anywhere in the 700 region, be fine. I think this guy's great. I really want a super rare goalkeeper. Super rare goalkeepers leave you a lot more flexible because then essentially, you've got the opportunity to move up to D2. Yeah, I like super rare goalkeeper idea more. So it's great to have you, Azunu. Hopefully we can pick up your rare for 750 would be fair, but the one of 100s can always go for a bit much. LTP, I beat you in the Vieira. Let me just show you here. Beat you in the Vieira bidding. It looks like you're going to beat out me. So this one, the one of about 100, who was my top player to get for the La Liga 2, he beat me out here. I beat him out there. He's beating me out here. Fair play to him. I might give him a message and just be like, we need to stop bidding on the same cards because it's getting ridiculous. So yeah, we'll see if anyone comes in late. No late bidders. That's always annoying, isn't it? Like, fair play to LTP there. But yeah, he's pushed the price up. I've pushed the price up for him and he's pushed the price up for me. So we're doing good things with Sorare, but there's always someone willing to catch you out. And we'll leave that there for now until the rare goes live. And we are back with another auction. Azuni this time, we are on his rare rather than his super rare. Obviously, super rare went for £1,400. Essentially, this one's currently at 600. In terms of who's in it, we got these guys. Not names I typically know, but let's pump up our first bid. 750 would be the ideal price, 750 or below, obviously. But yeah, in this type of environment, you've just got to check how does he score. So looking at his new club, he's been averaging about 62 every time he's been at his new club, which is a good score. Come in, you got 673. So this guy, alternative, if I don't get him, we get him. Problem is, he's just on absolutely great form. It doesn't fill me with that confidence of he can keep this up. I think he's just on like a form run on his last 15. Orsic would be a huge choice. Should probably not get carried away here. I'm winning that for 636. Please don't outbid me late. It feels a lot better if you would have bid initially. I know towards the end of the super there, I got a bit like late bidding, but I was really thinking about it. If you know you're going to bid more, just get in there early. Orsic here, he'd be a great choice, but he's been rotated in and out. Like, if you know the team a bit better, you might be able to understand why. I don't, so I'm looking for a nailed starter. This guy, why do that? Now you just make me want to do it, but I'm not going to be that guy. We'll put up a 688 nice and quick, and then go back to the analysis. So hopefully he was taking his time to think, so he's not going to put another bid in. Iago Aspas, he would be the guy. The problem is I think he's injured. No, he's not injured. So yeah, Iago Aspas, what are you doing at this price? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he's been injured, but if you pick him up in a new season variation for 572, that'd be ridiculous. He is 35. It's going to take a little bit off, but that is a great price, I'd say. Look at those averages, higher than the guy we're bidding on. But the age thing, you never know when something like that's going to fall off. Who else there? Gerard Deulofeu, he has been a monster this year. 777. I watched Udinese against Roma. They were incredible. But again, it's that hot run of form. To be fair, he's a fantastic player as well. He would be probably the guy I go after if I don't get this card. I looked at him before. I think he wasn't auctioning new cards, and that kind of threw me off in case they just pump a load of new cards onto the market and, we get played by that. Are we still winning? Look at this guy. There's just no need for the late bids, Giuseppe Giorcito. Like I said, there's always someone willing to outbid you. 750 was the fair price. Now I've got my head turned by Deulofeu, but it's that Champion Europe Premium. There's no need for it really. And look, we got to focus on the mission here. The mission here is to get La Liga 2 cards. They have so many games. They might not get promoted Granada, and of course you have that kind of that World Cup utility whilst no real other teams are playing. But it's also those quiet midweeks. There's so many of them. Whereas Deulofeu will probably just play like most Italian teams every weekend, which is fine. But a new competitor. I've seen this guy after a lot of La Liga 2 cards. If we just check him out, I'm sure if you'll see some. Yeah, he's been right in the auctions recently. He must have had a wedge to get rid of. I'll put one more on here, I think. So if you look at, 800 double would be 1.6, which is what we thought he would go for. It would be my final bid. Final bid for the midweek quietness. Slightly overpaying. No, I don't think so. I think it's a fair price if we get for this. Anything else would be an overpay, which we could go for, Only one card at the end of the day. Like if you can get, higher scores in Deulofeu for the same price, tough to say, but he's on good form, obviously. It's just those extra games of utility, those midweeks, because you're not coming up against these monster teams. When Deulofeu plays, you've got Inter playing, you've got Juve playing, you've probably got Barca, Madrid, Bayern, 838. Oh, this makes me wish I'd gone for the Super. It really does. I might have to call that quits. What's the bid? 871. It's not awful, especially if you consider his limited. Now, we didn't want the super because it restricts us. We want the rare. No. Do you know what? We would need a good rare forward in case anything happens to Maeda of Celtic, or we know he's going to be rotated. So, yeah, this is a wise choice, I'd say. Yeah. On the high side, don't get me wrong, Deulofeu for the same price, very high. But it's in the strategy. This isn't overpaying for the sake of, I really want this player. This is overpaying because we need a second rare forward. We don't have any other rare forwards. So, we could drop him out and someone else into the other team. That will be 100% the last bid. So, hope we take it home. We got 30 seconds to see how it goes. BB8. Are you going to come in, or can I keep and continue to build my La Liga 2 absolute monster team? This will be my second one of 100 if I do get him. Got my Vieira one of 100, who's my tip for the season almost. And Granada Las Palmas, the other club of the player I got. They're in the same. They're playing each other next week, so it's just ridiculous. But also, you know, if you're paying this much for the rare, usually the next rare will go for that much. Are we going to win it? Waiting for the name. Waiting for the name. Yes, we won it. Come on. So that is 2 cards secured. So if we go into the team here now, that is 1.9. We have, 3 cards. I actually forgot about Vitola. We got 3 cards secured for the team. Striker, midfielder, 2 midfielders, sorry. So we just need a defender and a goalkeeper. Hopefully a super rare goalkeeper. How much have we got left in the bank here? 2.3. Yeah, super rare goalkeeper would be great. Yeah, I've just got to think, how can we fund that? I was debating putting some more reef in anyway, so it'd make a lot more sense now if I do need to go out and get one. But it's when can we actually get one? You know, that's going to be the biggest problem. We could go out and get a cheaper version. We don't have to get a La Liga 2. We can move into a La Liga 2 card later. But yeah, I'll have to have a think about that. So just to show you then, the spending spree has already started. Of course, you've got to get some cards before you fully commit to the plan. Obviously, I had no idea what they're going to go for. Both of these are 1 of 100. So like I said, really committing to that strong XP. But for me, it's about being smart at the same time. You know, you've got to compare to what you can get, and that's exactly what I've been doing. Am I prepared to be wrong? Of course. But if we go and look on the market, right, this is what I've been doing essentially. You go to a midfielder card, you search, and you look at the last 15s. These are essentially the best cards in the game over the last 15 weeks. Joshua Kimmich, of course. Loving my team. Don't have 12 grand to spend on him. Hani Mukhtar, isn't it? Yeah. Hani Mukhtar, great guy, great scorer, very expensive, and of course his league's about to end. So it's like bad time to pick him up. Same for a lot of these cards. When you actually can consider them, a lot of them are out of price range, or their leagues are about to end. You know, a lot of them are leaving the division. So if you leave, you know, 4 weeks' time when all of these Asia and MLS cards go, the leagues get a lot softer. And coming in at number 12, Vieira, with a 69.1 average. And beyond that, I've actually spoke to fans of Las Palmas, see what they think, and they think he's absolutely electric. He should be playing in a higher division. He just likes the club. That's what I was told. So that's why he's still there. So 69.1 average. But it's also been dragged down by a last 50 of 50.1 when he was injured and coming back from injuries and stuff like that. So this guy, he's in this realm for half of the cost, right? If you compare him to Wendell, he's half the price of Wendell, will have more games, doesn't have a Russian break. I'm so mad about some of these cards. Of course, they're not all like this. I just think Vieira is one of the best cards on the platform to pick up, which is why I've gone and got his 1 of 1,000, stayed up to 2 a.m. in the morning to get it. But, you know, these are the things you have to do. I'm taking on a new division. I need to have an edge. Watch my edge. Second division clubs that are top of their leagues are not the same price of people that are top of their league in La Liga. Is there risk involved? Yes, of course there's risk involved. If Las Palmas or some other cards I've got are from Granada, if they get promoted, they're going to half in value. I'm fully prepared for that. In my evaluation, I've tried to, take that into it as a consideration. With Hani Mukhtar, for example, all you need to do is wait 5 months and he's almost guaranteed to be playing in the same club. With Kimmich, there's no bad move for him. That's all priced in. So that's why they're slightly cheaper. But it's those games, it's those quiet game weeks, it's having all of those extra utility, the World Cup, but there's going to be so many cards playing, you'll get good rewards, but it's going to be a lot softer than usual. That's why I've spent so much on them. That's why I've got in early. I'm going to stop here and just say an absolutely massive shout out to Sorare La Liga 2 here. I'm doing all my research in the background, looking at SofaScore is a great example here, looking at their statistics. Zani's at the top of the list, of course. Another reason why I'd picked him up, of course. Someone willing to help me for no particular reason. His DMs are open. He said he's more than happy to help everyone. He supports Las Palmas. He's gone through about 5, 6 of my questions now, which I keep coming back for more help. Just a really nice guy. So it's really thankful we have people like that on the platform, helping, not looking to put out Patreon, not looking to sell their services, just wanted to help people. Really thankful for that. And that's helped me pick up some of these cards. So Jonathan Vieira, he actually alerted me to how good he was once I'd done the stats. It's a no-brainer, like I explained to you before. Vitolo, I asked him who the starters were for Las Palmas, everyone fit. He mentioned Vitolo. I was like, he's only like £50 in a rare, right? And he was like, yeah, I think he's probably one of the best 5 players if he stays fit. It's just a risk wherever he stays fit. Yeah, I'm more than happy to take that risk then. With a last average of like 30 and a DMP in the last 5, no one's going to be looking at him unless you have this insider information on the club. And to get it shared for free by someone just being nice, stuff like that. Even if it doesn't go right, even if he never gets fit again, it's good to have that attempt, people trying to help where they can. So I think that's great. And then we saw Azuni there. I'll show you the bidding auction for him. Actually, you might have already seen the bid and auction him. I hope I put their content in here. I thought it'd be fun to do that. Just a great pickup, really. Yes, he's expensive, but with the way Granada are favourites to win the league, I think he can put up massive scores. That's not the only acquisition, though. You'll see Greg Taylor hiding down here. I was so against Greg Taylor last season. I just didn't think he was good enough for Celtic. Being a Celtic fan, I watched him week in, week out, and he just wasn't that. This season, he is a changed man. I'm loving what he's doing. He's put up some massive scores as well. Let me show you this here. Last 44, awful. What's gone on? Right. Came off the bench against Ukraine. We got demolished by St Mirren with a second division team. Played Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. Played Real Madrid in the Champions League. Played Rangers. Essentially, 5 really tough games of coming off the bench, right? So, of course, his score's going to go down. But without that, 56. And if we go, drill into, a last 15, some of those will include last season where he was a different player. And, of course, the DMPs. So now he's coming back. He got 100 without a decisive action. If you can get 100 without a decisive action, you've got something special, because that means you could essentially do that every week. You don't, nothing else needs to occur. You just need to play your average football. That's why it's called, all-around game, So really excited to have Greg Taylor. I'll show you the trade offer here. So here's the trade offer. Essentially what it is a load of fodder. I don't think when I lose any of these players, I'm really too upset about it. No one in there I'm really disappointed to lose. Someone like Reece Williams, he's just been benched for the last game. What's going to happen to him? Essentially, yes, I did give him more value. So the value on the day was 441. I was getting 376. Realistically, he's worth more than that anyway. He was at 400 and a bit, happy to give Pavel a little bit because he's taken 10 cards off me that I'm not going to use for one player I really need a defence. If you remember on my rare pro team, I was playing Reece Williams, not a rare all-star, ETH grind team. I'm playing Reece Williams, averaging 43 or 36, whether you want to take the last 5 or last 15 here. And then on top of that, he just got benched last game and never came on. So it's is he going to be DMP for the rest of the season? Didn't cut it at Swansea last year. Been holding this guy for a year and a half, 2 years now. He's just not it. So it's finally time to upgrade. To upgrade with someone I know so much about, unbelievable choice. We wanted to get him. Downside, of course, the only downside really is that his XP is going to be awful because I've just got new Celtic cards around the corner. But when you're getting a deal off Pavel like that, it really doesn't matter. Not every card has to be XP to the max. Of course, it's good, but you do pay for that in the same respect. So yes, you can't put too much complaints in. I could upgrade it to the new card when the new cards are out anyway. So really happy with that bit of business. Beyond that, I picked up some cards just to keep me interested in the Nations League. Sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. I got a bit unlucky with Koundé's injury. He got injured 25 minutes in, and that's cost me a really big reward in Specialist. Besides that, we'll continue to put out our teams. I'll show you, they should be live now actually. Haven't actually showed you my results for a little while, so let's see how the teams are doing. So Diogo Costa yet to kick off, but that's a dead team. The Threshold team is also dead because we didn't have enough players to put out. Are we going to talk about a casual league? No, we're not. That's a dead team. Specialist limiters. That's obviously what I was targeting these kind of quiet midweeks. So Delaney's the under 15, the last 40, as is Pina. Pina's one of those guys. I had my gallery for £1, a tier 3 awful win, held onto him, got a move to China, had awful scores from when he was in La Liga, and now he's putting up great scores. The last game, he's been available for the last 2 specialists, and look, price went a bit nuts. And he put up a score of, I'm not saying these are incredible scores, but he scored and put up a 71. If he can do that tomorrow, then fantastic. You just need your last 40s to score, 60s, and you're absolutely a favourite. Bonucci getting an assist against England, that was lovely. Let's see how that does. U23, Captain Pedri about to come out on the pitch. Is he as good as I think he is? We're about to see. Donnarumma, man, what a performance last night. Absolutely love that against England. I don't actually support England, even though I sound English. I unfortunately support Scotland because it's where my family's from. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We've just got to build a rare pro team. I guess why I didn't build a rare team for All-Star, or a rare challenger team. So the All-Star is so populated, everyone plays it, it's very difficult to win. Rare pro's a lot more upside with a guaranteed star, a big star as well, that's great. And then I just feel rare is not as good as limited. So if you're going to play rare, right, for me, you might as well put out more limited teams. People in that division have enough money where they can just buy the best cards that they want. It's a little more difficult to do that in Rare Pro because you need super rares, which are worth just ridiculous money sometimes. Of course, there'll be 1 or 2 accounts that can do that, YNWAs and people like that. But, 2 people versus 20, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. So we're going to try Rare Pro. let's see how it goes. But these are some of the cards I'm looking for. Devastated to not get Valaz here. Hopefully I can get his 2 of 10, but it's very difficult to know what to do. I don't have to get a goalkeeper now. I can be patient. I can wait. But that is essentially what we're doing. We did a little more analysis and things like that on people's scores, betting odds on who's favourite to win, because of course you want your cards to do well, but you also don't want them to get promoted, which is the weird scenario I didn't really like as well involved in League 2. But I'm going to stop complaining about League 2 cards because I'm now, on board with them. It was also forgot to say, I'm not giving up on limiteds at all. You can see 1 minute ago I've just been outbid on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool have hit the platform. Incredible to have a Premier League team back, especially with such big scorers. They called it the Trent Matrix, some people, when he got upgraded. He's not in good form, which again for me the perfect time to pick up. A little bit of advice for you limited players. So now we have Trent's finishing every hour really throughout the night. All you need to do to get the max XP, if you want one early, is to get one before the next deadline. The next deadline, let's just check that here, is in 2 days, 15 minutes. So if you scroll down to 2 days, 15 minutes, there's so many cards to get. So yes, they're going for expensive now, expensive, but what's the fair price? You get Trent for 450, 430. Fantastic. I don't know why he's so cheap, to be honest. That's why I'm picking one up. But what I'm trying to say here is don't go out and bid on one of these because there's so many. You can be patient. I've just been outbid here. So what my strategy is, every one has sold for above £400 except for 1 or 2. So I'm hoping to be the 1 or 2. What am I doing? 399 point whatever. And then I just keep bidding on them. I think this is probably the 15th I've bid on, but it doesn't matter because there's 20 more. And if the worst comes to worst, there's a couple buy now prices I could just sweep up at like 500, and that's the worst case. Even beyond that, I could wait for another auction. So what I'm trying to say, when there's that many cards getting minted at the same time, don't go out and overpay for the first one. Be patient, put bids in, wait, you get outbid, who cares, you'll get the next one kind of thing. That's the mentality. As more get purchased, people will be moving out of the buyer pool because they've already got their Trent. It's that simple. I do apologise because I know this has been a long video, but this bit is very important as well. Massive shout out to Viking913 here on Twitter. He won one of my last giveaways. I think it's for about £10-15, something like that. And he said to go and donate it to a charity of my choice. And I just thought that was so kind, absolutely no reason for him to do that. Could have easily sent him the money. It's just, really generous for someone to do that. So I guess for me, it's where do you send the money? For me, last year I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I don't like talking about it. It's not a fun disease and it was a really tough time for me. But, ultimately you do have to talk about these things to help other people. So if anyone does have Crohn's disease or colitis, wants to reach out, talk or whatever would help you, feel free. But that's where obviously I'll be sending the money. I'll be making it £50, of course. But yeah, to have someone do some and just all the little things, if you can make someone that really made me happy because I knew I could put the money towards something that meant something. I could do it for a reason. So I'm going to leave the link in the description if anyone does want to donate. In terms of me, I'm absolutely fine with Crohn's. Got lucky that it wasn't a bad diagnosis, but it was the waiting period of months not knowing. But for some people, it will completely change their lives. So little donations that can help. I'll leave the link in the description. It'd be great if any of you did get involved, but obviously no pressure. I'm sure there's much more important things for your own family or something that's affected you. But for me, it's affected me. So the money's going here for that. And thank you so much to Viking. Just thank you. Just a proof for any skeptics that thought I was just doing that without donating. Yeah. Thank you to listening to me ramble on for so long. This is the double down. We are going in to Rare Pro, probably All-Star Rare Pro, and we're going to take it on with La Liga cards as a, the majority will be La Liga cards. I'll chuck in some other players in there if necessary. I think it'd be great to pick up some MLS cards right now. They are ridiculous price. So maybe if I've got some extra ETH lying about, I'll pick up an MLS card that will have 4 games. I'll hold on to him until the new season starts in February, March, whenever that is, and then make that capital appreciation. And if I do get a chance to win some cards in the 4 games, maybe put some 100 then, even better. That's a strategy. Find out in about a year's time whether it worked or not. But no, of course, you can watch along with the journey every single week or every time I put out a video. I'll give it an update on, the essential parts. I hope you liked this video. If you did enjoy this, please like, please subscribe, and yeah, all the best to you. Cheers.